Prince Harry, a member of the British royal family who has always been in the public eye, has once again become the center of attention. However, this time it is not because of major events or meaningful charitable activities that he usually participates in. Instead, leaked backstage information about his mental health and personal struggles has sparked deep concern among the public. Previously undisclosed stories are gradually coming to light, revealing a complex and challenging picture that Harry is facing, very different from the strong, optimistic prince the public is accustomed to seeing. Although the royal palace has remained silent, neither confirming nor denying the rumors pieces from external sources reveal a far more complex and darker reality about Harry's personal life. The pressure of his fame, unresolved emotional wounds, and tensions in close relationships have forced him to face unprecedented challenges. This is not just a personal story, but also a profound reflection of the darker sides of the royal world that few people get to see. If you find this story interesting, please leave a comment with the number 0. If not, also leave a comment with the number 0. Don't forget to share the video and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on other exciting videos. Now let's get started with the story. A concerning incident reportedly took place at Harry and Meghan Markle's private residence in Montecito, California. According to close sources, Harry was rushed to the hospital in an unconscious state, though the exact cause remains unconfirmed. Rumors have circulated suggesting that the incident might be related to substance use, but this remains highly controversial and has not been officially verified. Additionally, Meghan Markle is said to have been absent from the home at the time, as she had left to attend a separate event at a private members-only club. This detail has sparked further speculation among online communities and the media alike. David Langdown, longtime bodyguard to Prince Harry, is regarded as a key figure in discovering and assisting the prince during this critical moment. A seasoned former Scotland Yard officer, Langdown has earned the trust of the royal family over several decades. More than just a bodyguard, he is considered a close companion who has consistently protected and cared for Harry's safety during some of his most challenging times. Thanks to Langdown's quick thinking and professionalism, Harry was promptly taken to the hospital to receive necessary medical care, potentially preventing far more serious consequences. Prince Harry's struggles with mental health are not new. Over the years, he has openly spoken about the deep trauma caused by the sudden death of his mother, Princess Diana, as well as the psychological pressures and intense public scrutiny he has faced since a young age. Royal analysts have noted that these challenges have followed him throughout his life, presenting significant emotional and mental hurdles. Even before Meghan entered his life, Harry's mental health difficulties and issues related to substance use had been documented, highlighting a long-standing battle that he has been fighting quietly. Harry went through many rebellious years in his youth, frequently caught by the media in late-night parties using various substances and at times becoming the center of minor scandals. However, after getting married and transitioning to a more private life, Harry and Meghan have strived to build a peaceful home, shielding their children from the harsh scrutiny and pressures of the public eye. However, recent events indicate that many challenges still lie ahead. Psychologists and royal observers believe that in order to truly find peace and heal, the wounds within the royal family needs to engage in honest and responsible conversations with one another. These discussions are not only deeply personal, but also crucial for healing, rebuilding trust, and fostering harmony within the family. The story of Prince Harry is a clear testament to the reality that whether a public figure or born into royalty, everyone has their own battles that often go unseen. Behind the glamour beyond the ceremonies and crowns, there remains a human being carrying pain, anxieties, and a deep desire to be cared for and understood. This serves as a profound reminder of the empathy and compassion we owe one another, especially to those silently enduring struggles. According to insiders, Prince Harry's situation has escalated far beyond occasional slip-ups, quickly spiraling into more severe episodes where he completely loses control. There have been instances where he experienced panic attacks and was locked behind closed doors, inaccessible to anyone. When things got out of hand, instead of receiving the necessary help, a shocking rumor surfaced. Prince Charles Harry's father is said to have had a nightclub built inside Highgrove House, the official royal family residence. This bizarre move was reportedly an attempt to manage Harry's behavior and condition, although it's clear such measures couldn't address the deep-rooted issues he's struggling with. The stories surrounding Harry become even more sensational and controversial, especially rumors dating back to 2007. Reports claim that Harry once snorted vodka rather than just drinking it in the usual way. Medical experts warn that inhaling alcohol is extremely dangerous because it bypasses the body's normal metabolic processes and goes straight to the brain, potentially causing immediate and even fatal consequences. However, this particular information was largely forgotten in the media as Harry began opening up about his struggles with drug and alcohol use in the years following the death of his mother, Princess Diana. This candid revelation came through a 5-part documentary series produced by Oprah Winfrey, which focused on raising awareness about mental health. The reason why much of the press has remained silent on these issues likely ties back to the closure of News of the World, a publication that once ran numerous stories about the royal family but was shut down amid a massive scandal. Since then, other media outlets appear to have steered clear of delving too deeply into sensitive topics related to Prince Harry. However, Harry himself has never shied away from openly discussing his struggles, revealing the raw and often painful details of his journey in his candid and groundbreaking memoir. In his memoir, Harry openly admits to using illegal substances. He recounts that in 2015, while living at Kensington Palace, he frequently smoked cannabis and experimented with various hallucinogens, including powder mushrooms and ayahuasca. He also confessed to drinking alcohol as a way to cope with the intense pressure and emotional pain he was experiencing. Harry once said, "I was willing to drink, I was willing to use, I was willing to try anything just to feel less pain, to feel less like what I was feeling inside." This candid admission caused a stir, especially in the United States, where a conservative group in Washington, D.C. demanded that Harry's visa application records be made public, questioning whether he had received preferential treatment. Normally, such admissions of drug use could complicate visa processes and even lead to denial. These revelations have unveiled a deeply human side of Prince Harry, someone who, beyond living under the royal spotlight, has been quietly battling profound internal struggles and immense pressures from fame and expectations. His courageous admissions of his difficulties and mistakes, coupled with his openness in sharing his personal story, have helped break down many stigmas surrounding mental health and addiction. This has inspired countless individuals facing similar challenges to find strength and hope. However, Harry's story also serves as a reminder of the complexities of life within the royal family, where outwardly there is grandeur and power, but inside there can be deeply painful and lonely private battles. It shows that even those born into privilege are not immune to hardships, and sometimes the help they need doesn't arrive in time or is hidden beneath the pressure to maintain a perfect image. They want to know whether Prince Harry genuinely disclosed these sensitive details openly and transparently on his visa application forms, or if he inadvertently or intentionally omitted certain important information to avoid legal and immigration complications. As this issue drew public attention, some related documents were released. However, the majority were heavily redacted, edited, or strictly classified to protect privacy and national security. This in turn has led researchers and the public to raise more questions than receive clear answers, adding to the overall ambiguity and fueling curiosity even further. The Heritage Foundation, a well-known conservative think tank behind the lawsuit demanding transparency in Prince Harry's immigration records, asserts that the Duke of Sussex did disclose his use of illicit substances, despite being fully aware that admitting to drug or illegal substance use could lead to serious consequences during the U.S. visa approval process. Under normal circumstances, this could be grounds for visa denial or create difficulties in entering the country. However, even with the involvement of top legal advisors from both Europe and the U.S., Harry chose to make his story public. Just 2 months after the issue came to light, Prince Harry released his candid memoir where he openly admitted to past mistakes, including his use of cannabis, alcohol, and hallucinogenic substances, such as ketamine Special K and ayahuasca. He also detailed his ongoing struggle with mental health challenges and the profound loneliness he experienced following the death of his mother, Princess Diana. The memoir not only captured widespread attention, but also sparked significant controversy among the public, drawing both empathy from many and strong criticism from others. Among those who voiced strong opposition was Fiona Spargo, MBE, a mother who tragically lost her teenage son to an overdose of MDMA. As an active campaigner against the promotion of drugs and stimulants, she publicly criticized Prince Harry. Fiona argued that Harry's statements suggesting illegal substances helped improve his mental health send a dangerously misleading message, especially to young people struggling with similar challenges. She expressed deep concern that his words could be misunderstood, potentially encouraging drug misuse and leading to tragic consequences in the future. Fiona Spargo raised the question of whether Prince Harry might unintentionally be creating an unhealthy role model by openly admitting to using illegal substances as part of his healing process and overcoming psychological trauma. She emphasized the urgent need for a clear and responsible message to truly help young people rather than increasing the risk of reckless drug use. She stated, "Do you think Harry is saying something normal, helpful, and realistic? Or is he spreading an inappropriate and dangerous message to young people? I believe what he's saying is far from normal, even though it's becoming more common in society." Public reactions have been quite varied. Many believe that Harry's confession demonstrates courage and transparency, helping to break down stigmas surrounding mental health and addiction. However, there are also concerns that his openness might lead to misunderstandings and potentially normalize or even encourage the use of illicit substances, especially since these issues remain a sensitive and often misunderstood dark zone in society. Especially when Prince Harry reaffirmed these views during a live interview with Dr. Gabor Mate, a world-renowned psychologist and author of the best-selling book, The Myth of Normal Trauma, Illness, and Healing. The debate intensified even further. In their conversation, Harry opened up about how he found comfort and support through the use of certain substances as part of his journey to confront and heal from deep emotional trauma. This broader dialogue has sparked widespread debate about how society perceives mental health addiction and personal recovery. It raises profound questions about the boundary between individual freedom in choosing healing methods and the responsibility of conveying messages that impact a larger community. Does openly acknowledging and sharing personal stories help break down stigma and encourage understanding, or could it unintentionally create a backlash, making it easier for some to justify risky behaviors? The story of Prince Harry is not only a lesson about the difficulties and pressures faced by public figures, but also a poignant reminder of the fragility of mental health, even for some of the most prominent icons in modern society. It poses a significant challenge for society to find a balance between compassion and responsibility when addressing sensitive issues such as addiction and mental health. In a culture where many aspects remain quite toxic, Prince Harry openly shared in a clip, "Ketamine didn't really work for me. It was more of a social thing and definitely made me feel like I belonged to a group. I think maybe it also made me feel different from how I felt inside, which is why cannabis was different and truly helped me during difficult times." However, this story is not merely an admission of substance use, but deeply intertwined with Prince Harry's personal life and the psychological wounds he has endured. It prompts many to reflect on the invisible pressures faced by royal figures, a world that few truly understand. In this context, Fiona Spargo, a grieving mother who lost her son Daniel in 2014 due to an MDMA overdose, voiced strong criticism of Prince Harry's remarks. Speaking to ITV News, she said, "In this context, Prince Harry's comments about using illegal substances to cope with psychological wounds can easily be misunderstood and even promote drug use, which is very dangerous and inappropriate. There are many safer and healthier support methods available for young people struggling with mental health issues, and we should focus on those options." These criticisms further highlight the reality that although Harry has been very honest and open about his struggles, publicly admitting to addictive behaviors carries unforeseen consequences, especially in a judgmental public environment. Even today, as Harry continues to face personal challenges, many believe that his old habits have never truly disappeared. There are reports suggesting that Meghan Markle, his wife, has been aware of these issues for a long time, yet, instead of actively supporting him through these difficulties, she is rumored to have taken little or no positive action to help his recovery. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Prince Harry opened up about the early years of his royal duties, describing how he lived in a constant state of fight or flight, struggling with severe panic attacks and anxiety. He referred to the period between ages 28 and 32 as the nightmare of his life. Some sources suggest that Meghan Markle may have added pressure on him during this time, even dismissing his feelings by saying he was just stuck in the past because he missed his family, which only worsened Harry's mental state. Not only that, as Harry's private life began to unravel behind closed doors, Meghan Markle's name repeatedly surfaced in less than flattering stories. According to some sources, she was not only aware of Harry's serious struggles, but was also accused of contributing to those difficulties. There are even dark rumors suggesting that Meghan exploited Harry's vulnerabilities to maintain control over him. While this is a shocking and concerning hypothesis, it is not entirely baseless. The public started digging deeper into Meghan's past. Before becoming the Duchess of Sussex, she was quite well known in Hollywood, not only for her acting roles, but also for various stories surrounding her personal life. One of the most talked about stories involves Meghan's first wedding in Jamaica. Some guests at the party revealed that the gifts they received were not typical items like candles or thank you cards. Instead, Meghan reportedly personally rolled cannabis and hid it inside the gift bags without many guests realizing it. Some even said they only discovered they had brought the substance with them after returning to the United States. These revelations shocked the public and raised many questions about the life behind the royal family's glamorous image, as well as the psychological pressures and complex personal choices they face. Such a serious risk is not just an isolated incident, but exposes a complex picture of Prince Harry's personal life, a man no stranger to the world of addictive substances and dangerous habits. Behind-the-scenes stories reveal a painful and chaotic reality where the line between fame and personal breakdown has never been more fragile. If you found this story interesting and want to learn more, don't forget to share the video, and leave your comments to let us know your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our exciting videos. Now let's continue the story together. However, the story doesn't end with Harry himself. An important but less talked about part is the role of Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland. Multiple close sources assert that Doria once had somewhat shadowy connections within California's underground scene where she used to live. Although there is no public or official evidence to confirm this, rumors about her continue to circulate discreetly. According to these accounts, Doria is described as someone who knows how to leverage relationships to achieve her goals and maintain control over those around her. This theory becomes even more disturbing when considering Meghan's role in Harry's life. Multiple sources suggest that Meghan not only ignored Harry's serious issues with substance use, but also exploited them to keep him under her control. Allegations that Meghan used Harry's old habits as a kind of mental leash, making him dependent, silent, and vulnerable, have caused many to reflect deeply on the true nature of their relationship. However, the more painful truth is that many people around Harry, including palace staff and veteran royal reporters, were aware of the difficult situation he was going through, but chose to remain silent or avoid addressing it. Stories about his anger, extreme stress, and uncontrolled outbursts seemed to become a well-known secret that many knew but few dared to make public. Whenever such information was about to be widely revealed, powerful forces or media campaigns would intervene, promoting positive images, happy moments, or Harry's charitable events to distract public attention. This created a vicious cycle where Harry's real problems were buried and hidden beneath a false glamour crafted by the media and the palace. A prime example is an old tabloid report revealing that Harry was once accused of inhaling a medical-grade laughing gas, a gas used by doctors in strictly controlled environments, not the kind used for recreational fun. This incident further complicated and muddled the prince's personal story while raising many questions about how the palace handles the private issues of its royal members. In this context, the public can't help but wonder about the truth behind the glamorous facade the royal family always tries to maintain. Concealment and silence may protect reputations in the short term, but at the same time, they prevent those in need from receiving timely support. This raises a major question about the responsibility of the leadership, the royal system, and the media in being transparent and protecting the mental health of royal family members, especially when they're struggling with deep personal challenges. According to recently leaked internal reports, Prince Harry's situation has gone far beyond temporary personal issues. It is a sign of a man gradually unraveling after years of enduring deep wounds. Unchecked freedom, manipulative relationships, and a prolonged crisis are pulling him into a dangerous spiral that even the royal palace can no longer pretend is under control. Regarding the royal family, the media and public opinion are witnessing a roundabout approach. They cannot ignore Harry, but they also hesitate to openly acknowledge that he needs help. Instead, the palace seems to prioritize crisis management from a media perspective, downplaying diverting attention and limiting any impact on the royal image to control public perception. One of the current flashpoints is Meghan Markle. Though she is not a person of color, the media's reaction to her highlights that the barrier lies in how they view a woman outside the traditional royal mold, suspicion, control, and harsh scrutiny of her private life. It was reported that as soon as Harry was admitted to the emergency room, King Charles was personally informed. However, no official statement was ever released. Meanwhile, phones at Buckingham offices were ringing non-stop throughout the night, and the public relations team was activated on high alert, not to assist Harry, but to cover up and protect the royal family's image from the spreading shock. If the whole truth were to be exposed, the consequences wouldn't stop at Harry alone. It could also undermine the public's trust and the monarchy's reputation, contradicting the decades-long image of impeccable perfection. As for Meghan, rumors that she left the scene the night Harry was unconscious are seen not just as an absence, but as an alibi, Meghan didn't flee out of fear. Rather, she deliberately relocated elsewhere and was spotted enjoying herself at a club while Harry was receiving emergency care. That silence couldn't escape the public's speculative gaze. Now, the story has become a focal point within the royal family. Many members have started questioning whether Meghan is intentionally isolating Harry from his roots and family. Is she using negative factors to control his life? Over the past 5 years, her influence and role have been closely examined and reassessed by senior officials. The crisis surrounding Prince Harry is becoming increasingly complex and profound, not only because of his personal struggles, but also due to external influences impacting him. One of the biggest questions today is whether Meghan is actively creating a world that makes Harry more dependent and easier to control. No real compromise has been reached with the royal family, and many still believe Meghan is exploiting that dependence to maintain control over him, making it difficult for him to break free from this pressure-filled cycle. As a result, relationships within the family have become more tense and complicated than ever before. Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, is a rather private figure, but her role might be more significant than the public realizes. Many within the royal circles and media believe that Doria may have helped Meghan maintain a network of connections within certain powerful circles, giving her special access that supported her career and influence. Although there is no concrete evidence confirming this, the spread of rumors and stories surrounding Doria suggests that the crisis is not only about Harry and Meghan, but may also stem from underlying external influences. This adds an extra layer of tension to the current crisis. Recent signs indicate that the royal lawyers and advisors are not only preparing for the possibility of a divorce, but also dealing with a media crisis that could erupt at any moment. They fear that if Harry continues to speak out or his health deteriorates further, all secrets and scandals could be publicly exposed, causing serious consequences for both the royal family and Meghan personally. If Meghan turns out to be only a small part of Harry's downfall, it's likely that the royal family will no longer protect her as they once did, especially as the media and public begin digging deeper into her past and her role in Harry's personal life. The bitter truth is that Harry is currently going through a severe psychological breakdown. For many years, he has endured deep wounds, loneliness, and relentless pressure from the spotlight and intense public scrutiny. Although he has shared his story through documentaries, memoirs, and numerous interviews, behind those words lies a person who has never received the full and proper support he truly needs. The internal struggles and challenges Harry faces aren't something easily seen beneath the outer glamour. Notably, in today's world, admitting that you need help is no longer seen as a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of strength and courage. Harry chose that path, facing himself and seeking support, something not everyone is able to do. But this is also the most painful part of his story, because he not only has to deal with personal struggles, but also bears the pressure of maintaining his public image and the expectations of the royal family. One thing that has disappointed many people is Meghan's silence while Harry was clearly going through a mental health crisis. Instead of standing by his side, she focused more on maintaining her personal image, attending media events, and running her own PR campaigns. Some sources claim that Meghan turned Harry's painful situations into a script to garner public sympathy, thereby strengthening her position in the media. This is not the first time she has been accused of exploiting circumstances to create a favorable image, which has only fueled further tension and controversy surrounding their relationship. Overall, Harry's story is not just about a young prince facing hardships, but also about a deeply wounded individual struggling to stand tall amid invisible pressures from power, the media, and complicated relationships. Behind the documentaries, Heartfelt confessions and streaming deals is a man seeking help that he has never truly received for a long time. This struggle is not only Harry's personal journey, but also a reflection of the importance of facing and accepting help during difficult times, despite societal stigma and pressure. And when the spotlight fades, what the public really needs to see isn't the controversies or the storms swirling around media events, but the truth about a man, Prince Harry, who is daily striving to heal the wounds of his soul amid unavoidable turmoil and pressure. The questions about power dependence and the complicated relationships surrounding him remain unanswered, and perhaps only when those truths are fully revealed can Harry truly overcome the greatest challenges of his life. Instead of focusing on addressing the core issues that deeply affect both her life and Harry's, Meghan often shifts the attention onto herself. She talks extensively about her childhood personal struggles, conflicts with the royal family, and her own inner battles. However, even those stories have raised doubts among many, as several details in Meghan's accounts contradict known facts. For example, the story about her growing up in poverty and facing great hardships isn't entirely accurate. According to multiple sources, her father worked 2 jobs at the same time to support the family, which suggests that Meghan's life wasn't as harshly deprived as she has portrayed. This raises the suspicion that her story may have been edited or shaped in a way to gain more sympathy from the public rather than to accurately reflect the truth. It seems Meghan has always pursued the image of a perfect wife and devoted mother while also seeking recognition and the spotlight in the eyes of the public. However, when Harry faced real pain when he left, the family struggled with mental health issues and openly shared his difficulties, Meghan did not use those moments to create strength alongside him or to spread a message of healing to others. Instead, she chose to remain silent, even appearing to focus on personal projects like launching her own cooking show, something many believe was meant only to maintain public attention once the royal fame began to fade. As tensions between Harry and King Charles continue to rise, Meghan's actions or lack thereof have led the public to seriously question her true motives. Is Meghan genuinely standing by and supporting Harry during his most difficult times, or is she primarily focused on crafting her own narrative and image, especially after losing her royal status and the accompanying media spotlight? In reality, what we are witnessing is not just the breakdown of a royal family member, but the story of a man carrying years of emotional pain who has never truly received real help. Harry isn't simply going through a temporary rough patch, he is genuinely drowning in heavy psychological struggles. The saddest part is that those who should be standing by his side and supporting him not only fail to do so, but may actually be making the situation worse. Whether Harry can get through this difficult period doesn't just depend on him quitting addiction or temporarily stepping away from the media. What he needs most right now is honesty from himself and from those around him. He needs his close ones to take responsibility rather than hiding behind glittering titles, flashy statements, or empty speeches. They need to choose to face and heal the wounds instead of just covering them up behind the media spotlight. If not, Harry's story won't just be a messy royal scandal, it will become a true tragedy, a tale full of deep wounds, irreparable damage, and lifelong pain. It may quickly be forgotten by the media within a few months, but it will leave a lasting impact on Harry's soul and life. This makes people reflect on the seriousness of what he's going through, not just the fleeting moments in the public eye, but an entire long journey marked by loneliness, helplessness, and the absence of necessary support from those closest to him. This story also serves as a warning to an entire family, a symbol of tradition and power, which has always taken pride in putting duty and responsibility above everything else. But now, as the truth slowly comes to light, hidden corners, secrets, and internal conflicts begin to emerge, making the public not only see the cracks within, but also raise serious questions about the sincerity and how the royal family is handling and confronting these internal issues. Do they truly care about the health and happiness of their members, or are they simply focused on maintaining a glamorous image and power? Furthermore, this story sparks a broader discussion about the pressures of living in the spotlight, the loneliness and the mental struggles that members of the royal family face, issues that are often hidden or ignored to protect their image. The silence and cover-ups not only hurt Harry, but also create a vicious cycle of suffering, increasing isolation and deepening those wounds even more. With all that in mind, the question remains, can the royal family truly change, learning to face and heal internal wounds instead of hiding and ignoring them? Can they shift from maintaining a polished public image to embracing transparency, empathy, and genuine care for their family members? This is the moment for the public and the media to put pressure on the monarchy, not only to hold them accountable, but also to encourage real reform, because mental health is not something to be taken lightly or concealed. Will change really happen, or will this just be another cycle of events where pain and secrets remain buried beneath a glittering facade? Share your thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on other exciting videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.